Did you know that there are roles in CODM competitive play? You might already know what an OBJ player is, but did you know that there are 3 other essential roles that require different skill sets? Well, I'm here to tell you what those roles are, what they do, and what skills they need. After telling you all about them, you can decide whether or not which is the best for you. But if you're still unsure, I'll be giving you a recommendation based on your acquired skill set. So let's begin. Before this video starts, did you know that 92% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed? Did you also know 100% of the people that hit the subscribe button in the next 5 seconds have a KD of 2.0 or higher? Want to have a high KD? Hit the subscribe button. I'll be doing a full 1v1 livestream once we hit that 1000 subscriber milestone. If you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. This helps the algorithm show this to more mobile gamers. Now, here's the featured comment for this video. Comment down below if you want to be featured in the next. Now, without further ado, enjoy the video. First, we already mentioned it in the intro. Arguably one of the most important roles, but ironically one of the most looked down upon. I'm talking about the OBJ player. Now, the OBJ player, also known as the objective player, has the job of securing the objective. This could be capturing a flag, contesting the hardpoint, or planting/defusing a bomb. Don't underestimate them thinking that they sit in the point all day until it's time to rotate. They're devoted to their team, willing to put themselves in the center of battle. OBJ players actively eliminate players inside and outside the surrounding objective. Often these players utilize positioning so that they can surprise an opponent trying to make an attempt at contesting the point. They also position themselves in the best head glitches and blind spots to make it hard for the opponent to eliminate them. OBJ players in the competitive scene are always moving because it's better to be proactive than reactive. They are the first to initiate a capture, and when they have a flag in their team's possession, they patrol around the area trying to catch the opponent off guard. Let's give a round of applause for the OBJ players. It's because of their dedication that we win games 150 to 149 on hardpoint. Support is the next role on the list, and if you're quick-witted, you'd realize that there is no specific task tied to this role. That's because their job is not only playing for the objective or eliminating enemies, but playing all the roles into one. They are well-rounded players that can help hold an objective and slay enemies when either role is struggling or under high pressure. They are your failsafe. If either of these roles happen to die, they are there to sub in until their teammates get back into position. These people fill the gaps in the team. Support players simply make the jobs of the other roles much easier. They usually never get much recognition because they're always in the middle of the scoreboard, basically the quiet kid in the back of a class. For you support players out there, we acknowledge you. You're just as important as the rest of the roles, and thank you for being there when we need it. Next up is a role most of you aspire to be, the main character in the team, the people who think they're him, the Slayer. The role of the Slayer is to solely eliminate the enemy. Now, one big error I see many people make when playing this role is that they eliminate the opposition all willy-nilly. That's not how you play a Slayer. Let me ask you this. What if you eliminate the enemy during the transitioning phase of the hardpoint while your anchor, or in that soon, isn't in position? The enemy will spawn close to the OBJ, letting them take the advantage. What you want to do is stall until your anchor has control of spawns, and then you can start blasting. You can't mindlessly shoot your gun. You have to understand the outcome that comes with killing an enemy. To be a Slayer, you also need to have the ability of foresight. Recognize the opponent's pattern of play and prevent them from taking control of the objective. Anchors are the players that are typically found at the bottom of the scoreboard. Not because they're bad at the game, but because their role doesn't reward them with many points. The anchor's job is to manipulate spawns in favor of their team. Their function is similar to an OBJ player, but instead they try and protect spawns instead of the objective. This makes it easier for the team to stay close to the objective once they get killed by the enemy. Have you ever tried to rotate onto another hardpoint and end up getting killed only to spawn at the opposite end of the map? That's because the anchor is preventing you from spawning close to the objective. This in turn wastes your time, forcing you to travel more while the enemy racks up more points. Anchors are often overlooked, but play an important role that makes it possible to get back to your position as soon as possible. Now, I know I said there would be 3 more roles, but technically this has more to do with the team than it does with the game. Let's look at it this way. In a sport, for example football, there are 3 main positions: defenders, midfielders, and strikers. But there's always that one player wearing an armband. That player is the team's captain. In CODM competitive tournaments, we call that IGL or in-game leader. They're the ones responsible for calling the shots, deciding to make changes in play, make sure their teammates are doing their job, and so much more. In-game leaders are typically the ones with the most experience as they have a much better understanding on how the game works. Next, I'm going to show you some loadouts that are tailored to each role. For OBJ players, I recommend using a well-rounded weapon that can beam and deal good damage across all 3 ranges. For your tactical, you obviously want to use a trophy system as guarding the objective does make you vulnerable to lethals such as grenades, Molotovs, thermites, etc. Black Jacket makes most sense because, as I said earlier, being inside the objective makes you a central target for enemy lethals. Quick Fix is a good shout so you can replenish your health after a kill. Then, Dead Silence since Hardline isn't necessary as you're already stacking up points playing for the objective. The Slayer of course is a player that has the most meta weapon as their gun of choice. They use perks such as Lightweight, Quick Fix, and Dead Silence in order to be as quick and deadly as possible. They use a wide range of lethals, mostly those that deal explosive damage, and they have concussions or smokes to confuse or hinder the enemy's movement and vision. For support, of course the loadout is going to vary depending on their specialty and teammates' needs. For this loadout in particular, use the best gun, best lethals, and switch between smoke and trophy system depending on your team's needs. For anchor, longer range weapons will do the trick since you'll be hanging back around the spawns. For perks, you can choose between Flak Jacket or Lightweight, Toughness or Quick Fix, and Dead Silence or Hardline. For lethals, you can choose whichever lethal to your desire. What I do advise you to use though is a trophy system to defend yourself against enemy lethals. Now if you don't know which role you want to play, don't worry. If you like holding angles, patrol around small areas on the map, and surprise enemies from behind, OBJ might be the role for you. If you like to eliminate enemies, go on streaks, and cause chaos, have amazing movement and gun skill, Slayer is your best option. If you're a well-rounded player that wants to be involved in every play of the game, I recommend Support. If you want to contribute a lot in the team but don't like being a star player or grab any attention, I recommend the Anchor. If you know what role you want to play or want to improve your movement, I have a video that's on screen now that shows you all sorts of movement ranging from beginner to the most advanced. I hope you enjoy and found this video helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video.